Greetings of the day, everyone. I warmly welcome you all on behalf of Vidhi Sanskaar to today's session on how AI and tech are reshaping dispute resolution. We have with us Ms. Hamda Arfeen Ma'am, Legal Associate at Legally Solution, as a prestigious speaker for today's session. Now, I would like to hand it over to Ms. Hamda Arfeen Ma'am to begin with the session. Thank you.
Hello and good evening, everyone. I hope I am audible to everyone present in the session. Great.
Yes, you are audible.
Thank you so much. Firstly, thank you so much for joining the session. And it's interesting to see the number of people that have joined this session on a Sunday evening, because I understand everyone has plans on Sundays. So I hope that everyone can hear me clearly, and I would like to begin this session. So,
Yes, ma'am.
is everyone okay with me beginning the session?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so firstly, I would like to share my screen. If you all can do a thumbs up, as in when you see my screen. Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. I would really request the organizing team to accept the request of people that I'm receiving to join the meeting. Okay, I'll begin by sharing my screen. So for today's session, we will be navigating as to the idea of online dispute resolution in India and how online dispute resolution can act as a major changing force for the dispute resolution mechanism and including the judicial system in India. So when we talk about ADR in the broader sense, these days we are tend to including the technological aspects of ADR in the dispute resolution mechanism. I hope you are including the people in the session. I think I'm receiving a lot of requests.
Yes, ma'am, they are being included. You can continue with the
Okay,
presentation.
okay. Great. Okay. So now that we are in the technological world, we are in the AI world, we are discussing and bringing forward all the conversations and including all the aspects, all the sectors that can benefit from integration and deployments of AI and technology in any field whatsoever. So we have commerce, we have finance, we have hiring and management professionals, we have the legal research team, we have the judicial mechanism also. So if you are aware, you all are legal students, you must be aware of the judicial initiatives taken by the Supreme Court with SUAS and SUPEs, with the integration of AI and technology in the judicial justice system in India, and how that can also change the delivering of justice and research and legal management basically. So there are two very major initiatives by the Supreme Court of India which are discussed globally as to how technology can be seamlessly integrated into the judicial justice system. So when we normally talk about online dispute resolution system in India, we firstly talk about how it is going to affect and impact the judicial system currently. So when we talk about ADR, we are of course dealing with not only arbitration and conciliation as per the Act of 1996, but we are also dealing with mediation, which is which has now been incorporated with the Act of 2023. It has now been introduced in a more hardcore and a more legal backing of mediation. So with regards to the imperative of ODR, we have of course, we are well aware of the backlogs that Indian judicial system have, and how it has becoming difficult and difficult with the increasing of population, with the increasing of issues that we are not able to address the backlogs of several years now. So, firstly, we are focusing on the traditional courts and how they have not been able to meet the pendency level, and how it can alleviate the pressure on these traditional courts. So, the introduction of ADR was the main. The introduction of ADR was done to reduce this pressure itself. So the whole idea behind the introduction of ADR in the judicial system was to reduce the pressure of the traditional courts and provide a speedy and a more effective justice, cost-effective justice to people, and a justice which can be accessible to people. So this introduction of ADR is now being converted into the conversation of ODR, which can be more which can have a more geographical reach, because it can be done like we are having this session from the comfort of our homes. Similarly, these dispute resolutions can be done with the comfort of the homes, the offices. It has often been seen that in generally in ADR disputes, we have generally seen very in commercial cases or corporate cases where people have offices and they are not able to meet the deadlines of the case laws. That is where these virtual meetings and virtual setups play a major role. So with the introduction again of with the advent of COVID, we have seen there was a huge surge in the use of technology, virtual courts, and if you can, recordings of the courts and everything. So now if you see, we also have recordings of the cases that we often keep seeing on Instagram or on YouTube. We can see in the website, we can see certain case law hearings that we can access via this. Most of the courts today have, if you file an ITR, you can get records as to how many courts have actually incorporated the integration of video cameras in their hearings. So with the imperative of ODR, it is going to benefit excessively. It is going to benefit excessively in providing justice to these remote areas where there are infrastructure deficits, and it is going to reduce the cost. Of course, we are in the comfort of our homes and offices, and we don't have to go to the courts. We don't have to do the paperwork that is involved in the judicial justice in the court laws. So ADR, when converted into ODR, gets more cost effective, more accessible, and addresses backlog far more better than the ADR system. So presently, we have the aspects of virtual hearings, we have e-mediations, e-arbitrations, and digital signatures. So if you are well aware of the IT Act has introduced the aspects of e-signature. Section 10, Section 2A is there, which provides authenticity and legal validity to these documents. With the advent of technology, we also have the introduction of smart contracts, which is, if you've ever used, of course, you might be using a lot of e-commerce applications like Myntra, Amazon, and you often select that you accept all the terms and conditions. That is, in a sense, a contract between you and Myntra, or you and the e-commerce platform that you're signing up for, and accepting their privacy policies, their cookie policies, and their all other contractual obligations that they have towards each other. Then with the now again virtual hearings, if you are again aware of with the advent of COVID, we have the aspect of virtual hearings. There are a lot of petty cases and a lot of cases that are scheduled virtually, so the parties can present themselves virtually. And here ODR and ADR again, it plays a major role, because in mediation, especially in mediation, the mediator only acts as a facilitator between both the parties. And if you are aware of the differences between arbitration, mediation, and conciliation, in mediation, the parties come to a contract, and generally in arbitration and conciliation, it can be converted into an enforcement award. But in mediation, generally, it is a facilitator, a mediator between both the parties to form a contract. So mediation is very successful in online setups, because it's generally between family disputes, or property disputes, or small commerce disputes. So in these cases, it is reducing a lot of burden on the courts, traditional courts, so that major courts can deal with the issues of human rights, the issues of crime and civil disputes. So these cases can be shifted towards ADR, and with the introduction of ODR, we have a far more streamlined dispute resolution process. So, with regards to technological frameworks or technological aspects that we can integrate into the ODR system, we have AI-powered tools. Um, Now that I work in a company that also has a AI team, which provides with legal engineers to international clients and make AI legal models which can perform contract review, perform research, perform redlining. So there are technologies that are being made globally and in our country with AI India initiative of the government. Legal startups and legal AI startups are being introduced. There is the blockchain integration, which is an important aspect with regards to if you are aware of cryptocurrency, but it can also be used in a lot of other aspects. It keeps a record of all the transactions that are being conducted. And secure cloud platforms, of course, you are well aware of Google Drives and other cloud platforms where the data is stored for the integrity, and it can be protected for all the sensitive information, because legal information is a sensitive information. It can have health data, it can have names of the parties, the financial details of the parties. So that is where we it is important to ensure that this data that is being transferred cross border or transfer to different parties need to be very secured and protected in whichever aspect it is being used. And of course, there are also certain mobile smartphones. There are applications. There is the e-courts application that is introduced by the Supreme Court itself, where you can see at what level it's a application used by litigation lawyers, where they can create a portal of as to how many cases they have been assigned, what is the cause list, what is the level of the case, and what is the last order of the case. And there's a whole portal that they can use to manage their own affairs of the law. So, what are the major challenges and what are the considerations that we need to keep in mind with regards to this integration of ODR the in the present scenario? So when we talk about technology, when we talk about technology in India, it is extremely important for us to understand that we have a great challenge of literacy in India, firstly. So firstly, we have the challenge to deal with is literacy. Then we have the challenge of digital literacy. And now we are facing the challenge of AI literacy. If the EU AI Act has mandated companies and corporations to be well versed with AI and well versed with the literacy of AI, the aspects of AI, so that it can be incorporated and used in the most ethical way in companies and corporations. So when we integrate AI into our daily use, it is very important for us to understand that in a country like India, we have challenges which we need to firstly deal with regards to literacy itself. And that is where we'll have the challenge of digital divide. So the technology is not still needs to be distributed to the it needs to have a trickle down effect towards the lower section of the society, and they need to be trained as to how all these all what are cookies, what is acceptance of smart contracts, and it's no more the thumb impression, it's no more the signature, it's converted to digital signature, it's the click through agreements that we are signing. So there is all these new terminologies with regards to e-commerce, e-payments, SBI, PhonePe, GPay. We need to make this a daily conversation. The government has taken very good initiatives with Digital India and the e-commerce platforms, so that digital payments, which has made it very made the conversation of technology very daily in India, I have observed. And of course, there are the cybersecurity risks. There is threat to data breaches. There is the introduction of DPDP Act, Digital Data Privacy Act, which is been introduced in the past few months. And is now being again, rules are being introduced as to how it will be incorporated, as to how it will be uh, regulated in the industries, and how all these threats that we are generally seeing with regards to technology, with regards to the usage of technology, how this can be curbed to the minimal level. And then of course we have the legal framework gaps. Now with the integration, with the usage of ODR, we have seen some legal and regulatory framework gaps, which is if now we'll discuss in the next slide as to how the legal aspects are being interpreted in the sense to include online dispute resolution in the ADR mechanism itself. So we do not have a robust legislation to deal with ODR, and we just have the usage of the words e-commerce and Consumer Protection Act, or we have the usage of the word online, or we have the usage of IT Act in digital signature, or now with the introduction of the new criminal law BNSS, we have seen that we have the digital evidence aspect. So these are some of the few aspects where we have used all these aspects and incorporated them into our interpretation of understanding of how we can expand the scope of ADR into ODR. So we again have an absence of a central regulatory body and accreditation framework. So if you have we'll discuss a few examples also. I would like to raise the portal and ask if okay, I would really like to ask if any of you have seen uh, what is that? What was that show of startups? If anyone can remind me.
Shark Tank, ma'am.
Shark Tank. Yes. If so, if any one of you have seen Shark Tank and have seen the bid of Sama in Shark Tank, have any one of you seen that episode?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so Sama is a portal, is a online dispute mechanism portal. I would really like I will type it in the message. Sama. It's in very it is one of the few startups that has introduced online mediation, online arbitration, and online conciliation mechanism. You can get accredited there on the Sama portal by doing their courses and doing their trainings, I believe. If you are interested in ADR and mechanism, ODR and everything, it is an ODR platform, and I think it is a startup by NLU students. And am I not clear?
Ma'am, your voice is clear.
Okay. So I would really like you to go to the websites of Sama, and we have Resolve 360, and we have Cadder. These are and now if you WebNAI. So I am associated with WebNAI as an online arbitrator, and again with Sama is one of the very first online mediation, online arbitration startups that was introduced in India as to how these trainings will be conducted. For even arbitrators, it's a very new setup as to how awards are being enforced, and how the documents are being signed, how notice to arbitrates are being sent to the parties. So I would really like you to go to these websites and see as to what are their rules. Sorry, Ada, can you please ask your question here? I am unable to decode what you've asked me. You can unmute yourself. I think they can unmute themselves.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. Please, if anyone has anything, you can unmute yourself. Ada?
All right, thank you very much, Ma. I want to ask about this startup that you mentioned. Are they actually on LinkedIn? One can
Yes,
connect
yes,
with
yes,
them on
yes,
LinkedIn.
yes. Oh, yes, definitely.
All right,
Definitely.
thank you, Ma.
You can search them on LinkedIn. I have also worked with Cadder and as a case manager, case officer thing. And now I am associated with Webnyai. Webnyai is also a very has introduced their own AI system. They've introduced their own AI system as to how documents and arbitral awards and meetings can be conducted. Sama is, yes, one of the very first. So I would really appreciate if you could go to their websites or read their LinkedIn pages, or even see their Shark Tank, bid. It was an interesting one, and they did receive a bid from I think Aman Gupta. I think they did sign a contract with Aman, and Sama is interesting. You can go ahead. There are training certifications also. I think they provide, which are, I think, not that costly again. And there is Presol 360. They are doing very good work. Cadder has again raised a very huge amount this time with regards to ODR mechanism. So these are startups that are now working in this sector of ODR and using SEBI regulations and IT and ODR. Now we have Mediation Act 2023. Has anyone read it? Mediation Act 2023? You guys can unmute yourself.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So India has introduced Mediation Act 2023 recently, and it has increased the scope of the definition of mediation by introducing the word online. So any mediation that is being conducted online also will be understood as mediation. Similarly, we'll have these changes in ADR also. But as of now, I think we have increased the scope with the indirect usage of these terms of technology, digital signatures, and everything, virtual. So COVID was a very good, I think the only, I think a huge benefit of ODR, COVID was probably the excessive reliance and usage of virtual hearings, and all the litigation lawyers, the old lawyers, the judges were technically forced to rely on technology and virtual hearings. So Justice D.Y. Chandrachud has made a major contribution in that regard. So yes, we have these few startups. I would really like you to look also in. I would also suggest you to look for these startups and their arbitration rules. They have their separate arbitration rules, and they govern themselves on those rules. As to how the how fast the arbitration is to be conducted and everything. So we have that aspect also. They are different. They are an incorporation of the existing arbitration and mediation rule, the act, and the rules that these startups are using and relying more on. So I would really suggest look at it. It's a good career opportunity right now, because this is the future. So I would really suggest if you could look into these startups. They are really doing some good work. So okay, coming back to our PowerPoint. Okay. So now we have, again, there's an absence of a centralized regulatory body which is looking into, again, these startups or any neutral institutions. So if not, if the contract is saying that we have a neutral body which we will rely on in case of any dispute. So these neutral bodies are these arbitration institutes, or again these startups which the companies are signing up for, then they are taking up the cases. So how these are being run, whether they are being run with credibility, quality, and what is their accountability as to all these services that they are providing. So this is one of the aspect, and where are they taking accreditation from? That is an extremely important aspect as to how these sectors and these neutral bodies are getting their accreditation from which institution to conduct these dispute resolution mechanism, dispute resolution aspects. So with regards to what we have in the legal framework, we have again Arbitration and Conciliation Act, which provides us for an framework for arbitration, and again provides us for digital signatures and provides us for legalizing of electronic communication, like the Information Technology Act. So Information Technology Act is considered to be one of the first steps by the legal legislative departments in the reliance for the reliance and official acceptance of technology in the system. Prior to that, we had the telephonic regulatory systems and everything. So IT Act has 2002 has made it explicitly relied explicitly on the communication that we are doing with the usage of electronic means, be it digital signature, and now with BNSS we have digital evidence. So all these aspects have now increased their scope. Similarly, with E-Protection Act 2019, we have e-complaints system that the Act has provided us with. We have, again, if you go to section 35, 38, clause 7 of Consumer Protection Act 2019, you will see aspects as to how these complaints can be filed, and they have incorporated the word online. These complaints can be filed online. If any one of you have ever filed an online complaint for any product received with via Mintra, Amazon, any
For loss of mobile and for loss of the document.
Anuj, you're not clear.
Ma'am, I have filed the online complaint for loss of document and mobile.
Exactly. So how was your experience? Is it seamless?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is what it is. Now, Anuj has experienced this filing of e-FIRs. If any one of you have lost your documents or lost your wallet or lost your um, Aadhaar card and want to file it, okay, you have also filed an online complaint. So it's a good portal. You can file Posh. Shebox is a online portal for Posh. This is a slight drift from the topic, but yes, again, it is the introduction and incorporation of technology. So Posh complaints can be filed via online portals. We have Posh Shebox, a system of Shebox where you can file an online anonymous complaints for sexual harassment at workplace. And similarly, we have these e-commerce platforms where you can file online consumer protection complaints, online FIRs. Anyone of you has paid online challan recently, in the recent times? Any one of you?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so the government of India, Sam, has introduced an application. Okay, Divakar has. Divakar, you can unmute yourself and share your experience.
Yes, ma'am. I paid the house tax,
Challan.
ma'am.
Okay, you paid the house tax. Okay, okay, I have paid an online challan for helmet. So it's a easy, seamless process, and it's easier. I mean, I would like to say it's easier, less time consuming, and I can do it at my comfort. I don't have a time or date to report some place. So there's that aspect. So I hope these are certain introductions and certain small application and small changes that the government of India has taken initiatives for the inclusion of and deployment of technology, which I find to be very interesting and very easier. So yes, let's continue. Okay. So the Consumer Protection Act, yes, you all can go on the consumer platform and you can also file cyber complaints online. If I don't know, again, mm, if any one of you have an experience of filing a cyber complaint online, anyone?
Yes, ma'am. I have the experience. I lost my mobile. Then they said that directly you will file the complaint on online, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm okay for your mobile. Okay, I was talking about a cyber complaint, like you've seen something inappropriate, some deep fake you have seen, and you want to report it. You want to file a cyber, like you had a financial fraud. For that, you can file a cyber complaint. So there are a lot of if you can also report those things. There are a small changes if you see in the past years with the integration of AI. Also, there are small changes in the applications of Instagram and Google and everything as to how we can, be more aware as to where our data is going and how much cookies we can accept. Uh, so there's all these aspects because of the introduction of EU AI Act also. So there are those aspects. And now, okay. So there is a Niti Aayog plan policy of 2021, which is promoting ODR and has discussed in deep length as to how and what will be the structure of ODR, how ADR mechanism can benefit hugely from the incorporation of technology in the ODR mechanism. And then I'll share this with you. Let me know if any one of you are into. You can connect to me on LinkedIn, and if you require, I will discuss with the Vidhi Sanskaar team and share a drive with you if you are interested in this to read this policy. This is a very interesting policy, a very well crafted approach by Niti Aayog, and I would again suggest if you all are graduation students to visit Niti Aayog websites on and off and read their policies, read their approach. They've made provided a approach paper on AI also. It's a very very elongated and a very comprehensive paper on the integration of AI in India, what will be the challenges and roadmap ahead. Similarly, they have planned a 2021, they had introduced this policy paper on the integration of ODR, what will be the structure and how it will be integrated, what are the regulatory and legal frameworks, what will be the centralized. Sure, I will share it. I cannot share it on Google Meet, but I'll share the few documents, 2, 3 documents with the team so that you people can go ahead and read about them. Rest you can connect to me on LinkedIn if you are more interested in ODR. Apart from that, we have the Mediation Act recently, 2023, and I'll share you the changes. Is my screen visible to you all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Now, if you read the preamble of the act, it is an act to promote, facilitate mediation, especially institutional mediation. Now, when we talk about institutional mediation, we talk about all the neutral bodies that have been incorporated to deal with arbitration, mediation, and conciliation for resolution of disputes, which include commercial disputes and otherwise. Enforce mediated settlement agreements, provide a body for registration of mediators to encourage community mediation. Now, when we talk about providing a body for registration of mediators, it will also include an accreditation framework as to where those mediators have been accredited. That is the reason all these startups have introduced what we talk about the the training courses and everything from their own institutions. So there is that, and you can visit the SEBI website. SEBI website has a I think 2 hour or 3 hour training for ODR training for 3 hours or 5 hours or something like that. You can look into that. It's a certification that some of the people do. So we have to encourage community mediation and to make online mediation as acceptable and cost-effective process for matters connected therewith and incidental thereto. Now, this is one of the major changes and major adoptions. You see, online itself is a term used 17 times in this document. So you can see where all this term has been introduced and what are some of the aspects that we can learn. What are some of the changes that they have incorporated from the old acts. So this is one of the most major changes made by the Mediation Act 2023 as to how we can use the virtual platforms and online mediation and decrease the dependency on the traditional ADR mechanism and traditional courts, and increase and introduce, the reliance on online mechanisms more. Then we have the SEBI regulations. So if you see the website of SEBI, and I will share this PDF also with you people, it provides for a SEBI complaints redressal system portal scores. So if you have any financial markets or security markets issue, you can raise them in their portal. And we have the smart ODR system, which provides for, again, a technological way, a technological platform via which you can approach the ODR mechanism if you have any security markets issue. So I'll share this PDF also. These regulations are one of the few regulations that are relied upon by companies to resolve the commercial disputes. And we have a DPIIT government initiative, Open Network for Digital Commerce, which also provides for ODR framework for resolving, again, disputes and between buyers and sellers on their network. So one of the very major, easier things you can do is you can just search the regulations and use the terms online, virtual, digital, technology, some of the synonyms, and see as to what are the approach mechanism of different sectors and how different sectors have incorporated these policy initiatives and changes. So some of the stakeholders that will be impacted hugely with this introduction is the citizens, of course. Now, if I am a buyer of a product from Myntra, which was not up to the mark, or which I got something else instead of what I had ordered. If I want, I can raise a consumer, or if the product did not turn out to provide me the facility that it claimed it would provide, I can raise that sitting from the, again, comfort of my home. Usage of a mobile application, usage of a website, I can raise these complaints very easily, and it can be resolved within less time and being cost effective. So legal professionals, of course, but however, legal professionals and even citizens, they are now being forced, rather, I would use the term, rather forced to get acquainted with the usage of these technologies. Now, even if I do think sometimes that I'll use cash, I have often seen people relying on digital payments. They are like, let's transfer me digitally. So that has reduced the burden of banks. If you ever been to banks in the past year, you will see that the number of people visiting banks has reduced largely, because now everybody has everything on their mobile applications and on their digital means. So the people that are visiting the banks have reduced drastically. So even the banks, the courts, legal professionals, all these stakeholders are somehow pushed to learning of the usage of these technologies and incorporating these technologies in their daily usage. Even businesses, they have introduced all these new aspects. They are to introduce their dispute management system in case of any dispute between the parties, how it will be resolved, and what will be the certainty as to how the contractual obligations will be fulfilled. So these are some of the stakeholders that are going to get impacted with this online dispute resolution mechanism. So in the future, we have this major transient trend which will be introduced in the justice delivery system, and we can even assume that even the traditional dispute mechanism system is going to uh, get a huge blow with the reliance on technology largely. And with AI, with the creation of with the making and deployment of AI technologies in legal management, legal resources, legal research, we can see that the reliance is increasing more and more. With the future generation, it is increasing more and more, and uh, we as a few experienced professional are being pushed to learn these technologies and hang around these technologies and understand how it is working. So with ODR, I think it will be a major change. A major chunk of case laws can be
Hello?
resolved. Yes, 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 Ramarao. Anything you want to add? Okay. So with the introduction of technology and ODR, I believe it will be a major change in the dispute resolution mechanism system of India. And I would suggest that you guys go ahead and look into the global framework as to how online dispute resolution mechanism is being regulated internationally, and what are the cross-border transfer, data transfer aspects, how these challenges are being addressed by these countries. So that India can, because India is at the very nascent level of introduction and incorporation of this. So let's hope for a more ethical technological acceptance all around. And I hope you people have understood all the aspects and challenges we'll face in the future. Anyone would like to discuss anything? The floor is all yours, all the participants. If you wish to discuss anything, any aspect. Yes, Anuj, you can, I think you can contact the Vidhi Sanskaar website. You can deal with the organizing team with regards to the feedback form. And I would, yes, Aparna, I will, okay, I can conduct AI classes. I can walk you through a few of the legal AI tools. I'll have a discussion with the organizing team with regards to that also. Um, and is there, Devakar, you can, I would really appreciate if you could unmute yourself. I like a discussion.
Ma'am, in this also is any flaws in this, ma'am?
Flaws with regards to
Yes, ma'am.
ODR?
Not ODR, ma'am. In the regarding with the AI and tech based
Yes.
ODR.
Of of course, of course, of course. See, no system is fully perfect. We can say that the technology incorporation is going to give us a lot of, is going to be accessible, is going to be cost effective. But I hope you realize that we are giving a lot of data to companies, to startups, to organizations. And again, when we're talking about legal dispute, we are giving a lot of personal information to the institutions that are conducting dispute mechanisms. So there will be this aspect. There will be the jurisdiction aspect, of course. If we have international commercial disputes, how will those disputes be? What will be the jurisdiction of those disputes if we are conducting an online dispute? An online dispute. And so these are some of the aspects, some of the major cyber security risk, data leak. If there is a, there are a lot of cases against practo and everything, a lot of health data that is being shared. So how these data is being protected. There are a lot of challenges with technology that is.
Yeah.
And again, digital literacy, AI literacy is one of the major challenge India is going to face, because we still do not, I think, generation prior to us, they still do not know as to how, these what are cookies, how they are being accepted, what are digital and smart contracts. So I think these are some of the challenges that we will face.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Bhumi, you can go ahead, ask me a question.
Ma'am, do you think that like these startups like Sama will privatize the whole system of ODR, and it will drawback in the system in the long run?
Yes. You're very good. A very good question, and a very interesting take. Yes, it is. Now, again, when we talk about a centralized regulatory body, an accreditation framework, this is what it does, right? It will give the validity, the accountability to these private startups which are looking into arbitration and mediation and conciliation, because it is a judicial process, and we are relying on private entities to resolve those the judicial process. So it will become a major challenge. That is the reason there's a huge emphasis in the ADR field and ADR among the ADR professionals to provide an accreditation framework or a centralized regulatory bodies with regards to these dispute resolution mechanisms. So, or the introduction of a government institution which is looking into all this. It's quite possible. And I would really request you all to look into the work of these startups. They are doing really great. All the startups. Webnai has now recently signed a deal with, I think, a new Nalsar, I believe. Nalsar, they've signed a deal with Nalsar. So everyone is making their technology and everything. So, yeah. Yes, this will be a major challenge. Yes, sure, I'll share the PPT, I'll share the PDFs, and look into the startups that I have talked about. And if this is your career choice, it's a great time to delve into it. Yes, Devakar, please go ahead.
Ma'am, you take the classes on opportunities in this AI and tech, ma'am.
Sure, I would really like that. I will look into it. You've suggested a few topics to me, and I will surely look into as to how I can be more associated with Vidhi Sanskaar. I would really like that. And sure, sure. Thank you for the topics.
Yeah, okay,
And
ma'am.
surely. Anything else, anyone?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable time and for presiding over this session as the speaker. We are truly obliged for the information that we have gained from your insights. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome.
To all the participants, thank you for joining the meeting today. The feedback form of this session is provided in the chat box. Kindly fill the feedback form to receive your e-certificates. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am.